What's good, Lazy Daze family? We are back at it again with another reaction video for you guys today, and it's been a minute since we've reacted to this channel. It is some Oversimplified. Woo! They dropped Hannibal Part 1 and Part 2. So you know we had to jump on it. Now, of course, we did previously react to the First Punic Wars, but that was with another person on the channel, and the video had to get taken down. But you can go watch our History Marseille's reaction, the reaction to the History Marche Hannibal series. We watched the whole thing, so we should be quite aware of this, but we do like Oversimplified because he does oversimplify it for you and also puts in a couple of jokey jokes, which we love indeed.
It's the autistic mind that loves it.
It's so good. The silly little edits, they always do such an amazing job. If you want to go see bonus content, extended content, extra clips, you name it, it's over on our Patreon, so head over there. That link's in the description box down below. It's £3 a month, guys.
£3 a month.
£3 a month. You've got to go do it. Monthly as well. It's crazy. But without further ado, we're going to jump into this video, and we hope you guys enjoy.
This video was made possible by NordVPN. Click the link below and get an exclusive deal with 4 extra months. Yeah. Also, check out the merch.
I was about to say, this is
new
not
character
on
pins,
10.
the last
it is on
bucket plushies,
80p.
and even
no, it's not.
a calendar. And not done yet. We've partnered with U2s to bring you an exclusive Oversimplified Roman console figure.
Yeah.
Get it while you can at oversimplified.u2s.com. But it's limited edition, so once it's gone, it's gone.
Head over there and grab one before they're gone.
Now, hey,
we can do it
what are you
after,
still
Jack.
doing here? I said do it right now.
Okay.
All right, our beloved mercenaries. Let's hear it. Okay, thank you one and all for your hard work fighting in the First Punic War. Would have been nice if you'd won, maybe tried a little harder, but this isn't the finger-pointing convention. I know you all have one thing on your minds. Hey, when are we all getting paid? Remember you lost your... Okay. Jim, why don't you tell them? I'm not telling them, you tell them. You're not getting paid.
That would be me and you. I'll be sitting there going, Jack, do you want to tell them? And you're like, fuck off, cuz.
No, I'm fucking telling them.
You run the channel, it's your choice.
We lost the First Punic War and owe the Romans a ton of reparations. Of course we can't pay you in full. Let's burn this place to the ground! Hey! Don't burn this place to the ground. Come on, fellas. Will killing us really make you feel better about your money? Yes. Wait, shut up, Jim. You're fired. I guess that makes 2 of us. Huh?
Oh, I love this animation. And Hannibal, let's fucking
In the
go!
aftermath of the First Punic War, Carthage's disgruntled... In the aftermath of the First Punic War, Carthage's disgruntled mercenaries, left unpaid for all their hard work, revolted, and Carthage found itself caught up in an extremely destructive mercenary war. The panicked Carthaginians hired more mercenaries to fight the mercenaries they couldn't afford to pay, and Carthage came dangerously close to...
Where did the money come from?
Hang on, I've been like, hang on. How's he paid you? I was paid us. What do you mean he's paid you?
Like, literally.
Get out of the way, mate.
Brother, this could have all been resolved if you gave that money you gave to them to me. I would have walked away. And I probably would have took 10 geezers with me. Alright, you fucking idiots. Fucking idiots.
Collapse. All the while, across the water, there was Rome. Look at those morons. Just kicked their ass in the First Punic War, and now their own mercenaries are revolting. Yeah. Wait, First Punic War? You mean there's going to be a second one? We're definitely taking advantage of this situation. So almost certainly, yes. The Romans did, in fact, take advantage of the situation. Amongst the chaos, rebels on the Carthaginian island of Sardinia sent out a cry for help to Rome. Hot diggity dog, said the Romans. That's free real estate. And so in they went. Whoa!
Most nations are always just looking for some kind of pretext to go, yeah, we're on your side. We'll come.
It's free real estate.
Yeah.
Oh, that's our island. Get the hell off. Hey, they requested our help. We're simply helping. Oh, no, you don't. Look, we're sending our own army to deal with the rebels, okay? But just to be clear, we're not trying to start a fight with you, so, don't declare war on us or anything. War! We surrender! And as part of the peace treaty, we get to keep these islands. The Carthaginians were
I love
as if their
Oversimplified
humiliating loss in the First
creativity.
Punic War wasn't bad enough. The Romans now took advantage of their mercenary problem and stole their islands. This shocking land grab was pretty hard to justify by Roman standards.
Romans doing colonialism before we did.
Additionally, the Romans now demanded Carthage pay them even more money on top of what was already owed. If Rome was trying to make Carthage as mad as possible, they were doing a fantastic job. The seeds of a second Punic War were being sown, and they were being watered with Carthaginian tears. Resentment in Carthage only continued to grow. Eventually, Carthage solved their mercenary problem thanks to Carthaginian military genius and hero of the First Punic War, Hamilcar Barca. He sorted those naughty mercenaries out with some good old-fashioned atrocities, and the destructive mercenary war was over.
Atrocities.
Atrocities!
It's the only way to win.
It is literally the only way to stop everything. You're just going to go, look, I'm going to go so far that they look at me and go, I'm good, thanks. That's the only way for it to work.
It is.
It's so bad. It's so bad. But do you know what I mean? You just got to scare and terrify people enough.
So bad.
It's not the only way. It's not the only way. But it was the only way back in the day.
Then, that was the only way to do it.
Yeah.
There was no governments and peace treaties and whatever else like it is today. Fucking hell.
Still, all
Yeah, no
was not
international
well
law.
in Carthage. Mere decades ago, they were the top dogs in the Western Mediterranean. Now, after the crushing defeat in the First Punic War and a huge bill to pay the Romans, Carthage was well and truly under Rome's thumb. What on earth were they supposed to do? If they wanted any chance at regaining their former strength, there was one thing they needed now, more than anything: money. But as long as they owed Rome $1 bazillion, there was nothing they could do. Fortunately for them, amongst their ranks, there was one big hunk of a man with one big clump of a brain. Me, Hamilcar Barca. Yes. Wait, why do you all have the exact same voice? I have it too. Hero of the First Punic War, greatest general alive, and the poster above my bed. Hamilcar Barca had an idea. All right, we need money? Well, I've got one word.
Is
for
that
you.
actually him?
What?
Because that just went face reveal. I swear if that's him, bro.
What do you mean
All
face
right.
reveal?
It says face reveal above his fucking head, bro.
Where?
Look at his head. Keep going.
Ed, Hamilcar
Keep going.
Barca had an idea.
Face reveal.
Is that actually the
Bro, if that's you,
if that's
let's go for a
oversimplified,
pint.
that's so sick.
I love
Please
you, bro.
do.
All right, we need money? Well, I've got one word for you.
That was a good fucking
An area
spot,
filled
Jack.
with lucrative silver mines, from which the silver would flow like a river, and our pockets would be stuffed, like Tony's mother at a buffet. So here's my proposal. You send me with an army to Spain. I'll expand our territory, get those silver mines up and running, and we'll be able to pay the Romans back in no time. Okay.
Okay.
Just to check, you're not secretly raising the money to go on a bloodthirsty revenge spree against Rome, are you? Because we can't afford that. Hanno, my dear, I'm simply going to pay them back.
With blood.
Well, that wasn't reassuring. Few in Carthage were as bitter about their loss in the First Punic War as Hamilcar Barca. 98% of his brain matter had been reallocated to thoughts of revenge. He was also fed up with the Carthaginian politicians for what he deemed a
I
cowardly
understand.
betrayal
Yeah.
when they
Why?
surrendered at the
We
end
have
of
a
the
lot of
last
cowardly
war.
politicians at
And
the
so
moment.
for Hamilcar, going to Spain.
But even
meant-
from like our History Marche version, the politicians were just so weak-willed. So weak-willed throughout the whole of the Second Punic Wars,
my
and
goodness.
I will like to see how Oversimplified is going to portray it.
Being able to act independently from the weak Carthaginian government, building his own strength, and then perhaps somewhere down the line, revenge. However, he wasn't going to Spain by himself. Hannibal? Yes, father? Would you like to come with me to build an empire in Spain? Oh boy, would I! Barbara, mind if I take our 9-year-old son with me? I want to implant an intense hatred in him and prepare him for a glorious campaign of vengeance. Just try not to traumatize him, dear. No promises.
That was my mum every time I went out with my dad. Don't fuck him up. Please don't fuck him up.
Too late. Crime.
Young boy Hannibal would accompany his father, watching, learning. Boy, you see that city over there? Yes, father? That is Rome. Do you know what we do to Romans? No, father. We hate them, Hannibal. We hate them with every fiber of our being. But why, father? Can't I just play with my Digimons? No, son. They took everything from us. Our land, our wealth, our pride. Those animals. I'll tear them limb from limb. I'll burn their pathetic city to the ground.
That was quick.
Dad? I'm sorry, son. I've just never been so proud. Keep going. I'll slaughter their people. I'll cut off their faces and wear them as masks. I love you, son. After taking Hannibal to the Temple of Baal and having him swear an oath never to be a friend of Rome, off dad and son went for their lovely beach holiday in Spain. But Spain was already inhabited by many tribespeople. And when Hamilcar suddenly showed up in their territory, they were like, "Hey, who the hell are you? What are you doing here? I'm teaching my son how to become a warrior like me." Aw, well that's sweet. Well then, little guy, let's see what you got. Good boy.
Fucking tree. Good boy.
Ready?
Right?
Fighting the tribes of Iberia and expanding Carthaginian influence, Hannibal became a child of war, even earning battle scars from a young age. And he grew to become a great military leader himself, making his father very proud. I love you so much, son. Dad, not in front of the enemy.
I'll watch them both kill him.
You killed that guy so well. The Barcas successfully consolidated Carthaginian power, got those silver mines up and running, and were sending buckets of cash back to a money-starved Carthage. And
Keeping a lot
symbolizing
for himself,
Carthage's regrowing strength, a beautiful new city would eventually be founded in Spain. New Carthage, with a magnificent palace at its center. Carthage is back, baby! What in the name of Apollo is going on here? Ah, Romans! Flowing silver mines? Dancing elephants? What are you up to, Hamilcar? I'm simply gathering the money to pay you back. Oh, okay then. Or are you rebuilding strength to go on a bloodthirsty revenge spree? Like I said, Claudius, I'm simply trying to pay you back. Aw, you guys are hugging. No, we're not. I was.
That'd be you if you ever saw a French person. I'd be like, hey, Jack, you're hugging. No, I wasn't.
I was hugging.
You'll never catch me hugging a Frenchman.
Had practically carved out a kingdom
French
for
woman,
himself in Spain, free from the meddling Carthaginian politicians. His power was becoming immense.
I'd hug all
But
of
Dad, yes, my son? I'm confused. Are we really simply
Take a
paying the
second,
Romans
stop, bro.
back?
Show us the
We're
real
not going to go on a...
Show us the real France, bro. And I know for a fact, give me a couple of bottles of rum, bro, and I'll be changing my mind. I'll be screaming Viva la France.
I know you love the French
I'll be part
anyway.
of the revolution
We love the
forward.
French. It's just an easy poke because we're British.
Exactly.
And also, you can't blame us for generational imprintation.
I've got much more respect for the French than I did before we watched the Napoleon series.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
100%.
Like I said as well, you can't blame us for what our parents told us.
And you can't blame us for what, you know, our great descendants have, you know, stole from your countries.
His power was becoming immense. But Dad, yes, my son? I'm confused. Are we really simply paying the Romans back? We're not going to go on a bloodthirsty revenge spree? Of course we are. I'm just saying that to get the Romans off our backs. Listen, here's the most important life lesson I have for
die,
you.
isn't he?
Vengeance is everything. An all-encompassing thirst for vengeance is great for your mental health. Are you still confused? No, I get it now. But what if the Romans find out what we're up to? They won't find out. Why? Well, Hannibal, because I use NordVPN.
Skipping
I'm
the ad.
confused again. Do you like your computer being hacked? Oh, Carthaginian tears. Now, where were we?
Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Back to the red.
Carthaginian tears.
I'm gonna
A
stop
child of war. And the Carthaginian conquest of Spain. The Carthaginian recovery had been staggeringly quick, and Rome was seriously alarmed. They were also preoccupied with ongoing wars elsewhere, including an expansionist war to the north, where they were enslaving thousands of northern Celts. So for now, to keep Carthage in check, the Romans insisted on a new treaty. See this river. The two sides agreed that everything above it was in Rome's sphere of influence, while beneath it was Carthage. Under no circumstances were the Carthaginians to expand north of that river. But for now, Hamilcar and son were living it up. Well, son, here's to many more years of successful campaigning in Spain. Now, if you'll excuse me, I just have to go fight those guys. See you later, son. I love you. What the? Oh, crap. I drowned? Oh, well. Always remember, son. You are vengeance.
The fucking crackhead
Also, delete my browser. Hamilcar Barca was tragically ambushed at a river and drowned. His son-in-law, and possibly also his lover, no further questions, took charge for a while.
I'm sorry.
His son-in-law, and possibly also his lover, no further questions, took charge for a while.
Okay, son-in-law, in-law.
Possible lover.
But he too was later assassinated, leaving finally a 26-year-old Hannibal in charge of the Carthaginian armies in Spain. Sources say the man readily accepted.
So many people are like 20s, bro, and they're commanding armies, they're taking countries.
If we had been back in these times, if we didn't die, we would have been involved in the army for sure. And like I said, if we were in America, we would have been leading our own crime
The conversation
grinds.
we had last night at the pub was 100% fact.
Yeah, if we were in America, brother, we would have been not petty criminals, but criminals.
Armed robbery, bank robberies, fucking kidnapping.
Brother, exactly. There's too many cameras in the UK, but in America, we would have been absolutely terrible. We are idiots who made mistakes in our youth, and we would have followed through with the mistakes even more so. And I think we would have been doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah. We would have been having a few boys getting some murders and hitting licks for us. Do you know what I mean? Like we have the mental capacity for it, but just over here, it's a bit too hard. We're not criminals. We're joking.
We're not. We're only messing about.
Accepted him as their leader. He chose to suffer the same hardships as his men. He lived in the same conditions.
Yes, he did.
Was often the first into battle and the last one out.
I respect
and it also
that.
helped
Man.
that he looked
We
a
love
lot
Hannibal.
like his dad. He had the total respect of his men. If he said jump, they said how high. If he said tuck me in, they said how tight. If he said talk to a girl without peeing your pants, they said that's impossible. Nobody can do that. An army that would follow him anywhere would be crucial for exacting his vengeance against Rome. Hannibal's army had become a strong and loyal fighting force, and that was making a certain nation very uncomfortable.
Get swole, brother. Hulk Hogan. Fucking Hulk Hogan.
And that was making a
I
certain
love the little
nation
Easter eggs in
very
these
uncomfortable.
videos.
So
bro.
good.
Seeing Carthage re-strengthen
makes
so quickly
amazing
was
content.
not something Rome had
Animation
expected.
is so good.
Yet here they were, paying off their debts and expanding their territory. It didn't feel very much like Carthage was under Rome's thumb at all, and Rome wanted to put an end to it. Tensions were strung tighter than your liar's G-string, and all it would take was one incident to trigger all-out war.
What was the incident?
And in 219 BC, a city in Spain would find itself at the very center of that fateful incident, Saguntum. Remember that treaty declaring everything south of this river to be Carthage's sphere of influence? Well, Saguntum should therefore obviously be Carthaginian, right? Wrong! Saguntum had actually scored itself an informal alliance with Rome after Rome had helped it with an internal dispute. With Carthaginian encroachment, Saguntum began to fear for its independence, and Rome declared itself Saguntum's protector. But this clearly went against the Ebro River Treaty. So what on earth was Rome doing? Were the Saguntines and the Romans truly just BFFs? It's possible. Or was Rome deliberately trying to interfere with Hannibal's Spanish expansion and maintain a staging post for a future war with Carthage? More likely. And Hannibal certainly viewed this Rome-Saguntum alliance as an outrage. Yet another example of Roman arrogance.
Yeah.
At first, he left Saguntum alone. But having learnt from his father to hate all things Roman and having inherited his father's dream of bringing Rome to its knees more and more, Hannibal may have begun to see Saguntum as an opportunity. Could this controversial alliance be just what devilish little Hannibal needed to kickstart a second war with Rome and restore Carthaginian dominance? It's even possible that Rome were also using Saguntum to goad Hannibal into a fight so they could go and kick him out of Spain. And as the two giants began gearing up for round 2, the poor people of Saguntum had no idea that they were about to be crushed in the collision. Hey, your alliance with Saguntum is an insult, and we won't stand for it. They're our friends, Hannibal, and if you lay a finger on them, it'll be an act of war. Yeah, Hannibal, back the hell off. War, eh?
That's when
I
your
was
missus
thinking
gets
I
too
might
mouthy
just
after a
besiege
few
their
gin
city
tonics.
and
Yeah.
massacre their people. I hope you do, Hannibal.
Literally,
Just shut up, bitch!
she comes up to you like 5 minutes after being at the bar and just goes, I told that geezer over there that you could beat him up. And you look over and he's just some butch fucking
Some 7
sick.
foot shit out.
Yeah. And you're like, we have to go. What did you do that for? You've ruined my night.
Cheers, darling.
Right, it's 2 o'clock. We can't get into another club. We have to call it early. Cheers, love. Thank you. Like, we need to go now before he fucking comes over and punches me in the face.
It's too late, he's already behind you.
Oh, wait, he followed you here. Fuck. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. She had too many to drink. Please don't hurt me.
Let me buy you a double, sir.
That's it. That's it. Oh, you want a drink?
Find out what happens. Yeah, we hope you do, Hannah. Wait, what? Maybe I will. Go ahead. Kill them all. Okay then. Fine. Okay, guess I'll do just that. Consul, we look forward to it. Consul, you're gonna protect us though, right, Consul? Consul! Oh no! To top it all off, when the Saguntine people made the genius decision of raiding into Carthaginian territory, enough was enough.
That
In
was
an
their
action
fault.
That was
That was
guaranteed to
That was
provoke
dumb.
the Romans
That
into
was
war.
That was so dumb.
Hannibal besieged the city. The siege of Saguntum lasted 8 cruel months before Hannibal broke through the city defenses and turned Saguntum into a killing field. It was a massacre.
Shit.
What the hell? Tell me I didn't just catch you massacring our friends, the Saguntines. Well, Consul, if you like the Saguntines so much, perhaps you should sug on these nuts. Hearing word of the attack on Saguntum, Rome was understandably in an uproar, and all eyes were now fixated on what would happen next, as Rome sent a delegation to Carthage, led by one of the most highly esteemed Roman senators, Fabius Maximus. He
The Maximus
demanded an
strategy.
answer for
Fabius
Hannibal's sins.
strategy.
All right, listen up, scum.
We know about him.
You've got a rogue general in Spain attacking a Roman ally. What are we supposed to do about it? Well, there shouldn't have even been a Roman ally in Spain. You're the aggressor here. Hand Hannibal over to us as a criminal so we can punish him severely. No, yes, no, no. Look, I hold in the folds of my toga both peace and war. Which one should I let drop? Whichever one you want. Then I choose. The second
Good
Punic
animation.
War had begun.
That's going to be in the next
Pack
episode,
it
isn't it?
up,
Oh, no.
boys. We've got him. We already destroyed these clowns once, and we were the underdogs. Now, we're the overdogs? Hot dogs. Exactly. This is gonna be easy. Here's the plan. Consul Longus, you take your army and sail straight for Carthage. Burn that city to the ground. And Consul Scipio, you just head on over to Iberia and make sure this Hannibal guy doesn't do anything crazy. I mean, what's he gonna do? Cross the Alps? Going to what? Cross the Alps. We're going to what? I just told you, Hannibal will freeze to death. Trust me, Jerome. The Romans are
sacrifice
expecting
I am
us
willing
to
to
fight the
take.
same way.
It reminds me this situation, you would actually be Hannibal, because you would be the war leader, and I would be the organizer and the operational manager of it. You'd be like, right, so I'm gonna go through the Alps. I'm like, fuck off, Jack. Do you know the logistics of this?
We are going through the Alps.
And I'm like, how long do we have? We're going in 2 days. I'll go start writing paperwork.
I see you. You haven't liked the video yet. Why not? Go on. Go like it. While you're at it, you know you want to subscribe. And if you want to go to our social medias, all the links you need are in the description box down below. And you might as well head over to our Patreon as well, where you can get extra bonus content if you're enjoying this. That link's in the description box down below. But we'll get straight back into the video. Love you guys.
We did last time, passively, taking no initiative. They think it's gonna be easy. So this time, we have to be aggressive. We have to go on the attack. It sickens me to say this, but this time, we have to be a little more Roman. You mean we're gonna take poops and baths together? But I'm insecure about my hairy legs. No, I'm saying this time, we're gonna take the fight to them. Think about it. Rome thinks they're simply going to invade us and win the war. So when they suddenly find themselves being invaded from the north, they'll freak out. Like Tony's mother, when the buffet runs out of shrimp. Gotta admit, it's actually kind of genius. And my hairy legs will insulate me from the cold. That's the spirit. Hannibal, you have my sword, and my spear, and my legs. Hannibal's plan, a daring alpine trek to surprise the Romans, was a bold but risky strategy. If it paid off, he could catch the Romans with their pants down, but he could also end up losing a ton of men and supplies in the hostile mountain conditions. Nevertheless, in 218 BC, with a fire in his eyes and some vengeance in his belly, Hannibal brought...
Yeah. It sounds stupid. Hear me out.
Yeah, I'm listening.
I would actually kind of like to venture up the Alps, or parts
I
of
would.
the Alps,
I would.
with a metal detector.
Oh, a metal detector. Interesting.
And I'd like to see if we could find some sort of history from Hannibal.
That would be quite cool. But I'd imagine people... No, it's so big, the Alps. I reckon there might be stuff...
Little bits.
Yeah.
Even if we don't find anything, it would be cool
Just
to
like a
go
Roman
up
coin or a
Yeah.
Carthaginian coin.
Just
or
any type of... Because in them conditions,
anything
most
could
of
have
it's going
been...
to be preserved.
Yeah.
I think that would be pretty sick.
That would actually be a really lit idea. Okay. We'll look at that. Maybe an Italian trip and then go to the Alps. That'd be nice. And the Alps are supposed to be beautiful.
Oh, mate. Yeah. Imagine the Alps
I've always wanted to do the Alps as well anyway. Like, yeah. And we want to do the Great Wall of China.
Yeah.
brought his force of almost 100,000 men across the Ebro River. They spent months on the road, trekking through the cold, hostile mountain conditions. And when they finally reached the other side, they said, "Hooray!
Oh,
we did it!
that was a
We
big thing.
crossed the Alps." No, those were the Pyrenees.
Oh, okay.
Those are the Alps. After crossing the Pyrenees, the army then had to pass through southern Gaul, a vast territory filled with
This is where they
tribespeople,
just
many
missed
of whom were
Scipio as
hostile
well,
to
right?
Hannibal's presence. His journey to the Alps was an ordeal
But he
in
got the
itself,
Gauls.
as
You
he
had the
was
Gauls.
forced to fight his way through and incurred pretty hefty losses before
thought he
even
got a lot of
reaching
those
the
on his
mountains.
team,
His plan was
mercenaries.
almost stopped
Oh,
in
no,
its
that's later
tracks
on.
entirely, as the Roman consul Scipio, on his way to Iberia,
Yep.
discovered Hannibal was right on his doorstep. Suddenly, Hannibal's journey became a race as he rushed to get his massive army across the vast Rhone River before the Romans could intercept him. The crossing was chaotic, with the panicking elephants causing several men to drown. And the first combat of the war occurred when small scouting parties from each side encountered one another. When Scipio finally
Remember
caught
that
up-
scene where they like run past each other and we we do the thing? Yeah. If you want to go see us react to like a whole episode covering this part. Go over to our History Marsh reaction. Yeah, that was funny.
To Hannibal's position, what he found was an empty Carthaginian camp. Hannibal had slipped through his fingers. The Roman consul Scipio felt the weight of the situation. Quite unbelievably, Hannibal was going to cross the Alps into Italy, and the Romans had no idea where he would emerge. For the first time, a Carthaginian force had the Roman homeland under threat. Scipio sent his men onto Iberia as planned, but he himself rushed home to raise a new army so that if Hannibal survived the crossing, Scipio would be there.
Hannibal had some of the best tactics and fights, I think.
Mate, he was a bold risk taker, and it paid off.
Worked so well.
That's it. Like, sometimes you just got to take big risks. Do you know what I mean?
Risks equal big rewards, bro.
Also, big mistakes.
Yeah.
But, you know, you got to take them. You got to take them.
Yeah,
this is more like a 75 going wrong, 25 going right.
The Alps! Although it is a little later than I expected. Yeah, it's kind of chilly. We'll set up camp here and wait for spring, right? It's way too cold, right? Hannibal? Hannibal's famous crossing of the Alps was brutal.
So brutal.
It was already autumn, and the men suffered terribly. It was cold. Men would fall off the sides of icy cliffs. They starved. They fell off the sides of icy cliffs.
I don't remember them covering the falling off of ice cliffs in...
We've got to be careful, bro.
Yeah.
Some sources say they had to eat their pack animals and would finish off dying comrades in order to take their clothes for extra warmth. And then they would fall off the sides of icy cliffs. Imagine an army of 50,000 men with all of their horses, supplies, and 37 elephants trying to navigate the most hostile mountain range in Europe. And it wasn't just nature that they were up against. Tribespeople lived in the mountains, and they couldn't believe what they were seeing. A tribe approached Hannibal and said, "Hey man, geez, that's some nice armor. What is that, gold? Man, I'd really like that armor. Hey boss, they've got food as well. Shut up, be cool. Hey, why don't you let us guide you through this narrow gorge? We're not gonna kill you or nothing. Just walk right on through there. We're not gonna kill you. It's just right this way." We're not gonna kill you. Hannibal's army were forced to fight their way through the gorge as massive boulders rained down on them from above. Some clever reorganization of his line helped them survive, and they were able to fend off the opportunistic tribes. But losses from the constant attacks were heavy. As the journey continued, men who went over the sides would get stuck on the ice sheets below and had to make a grisly choice between starving to death or just getting it over with. When the deeply
I'm getting it over with,
bro.
I'm just dropping. I
think if you were able to catch yourself and you just think, right, there's no way they're getting me up. Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Yeah, I just gotta go.
Yeah, there's no choice.
Yeah.
Demoralized army reached the summit and rested for a couple days. Hannibal tried to lift their spirits with a rousing speech. "Look, men, down there. It's Rome. These plains stretching out in front of you are bountiful with food to eat and Romans to kill. Move, Bessie! Look, you have just climbed the walls of Rome. The hard part is over. From here on out, it's..."
Right? Hear me out. Listen. That's going to be some of the warmest shit that you can actually get your hands on. Not literal shit, but actual shit. Right? If that's just come out of the backside of an elephant, bruv, and it's steaming hot, extra 20 minutes of heat, smelling like shit.
No, brother. No. Yeah, I don't think you're thinking about the diseases and shit.
Oh, yeah, no, obviously, yeah, you get the diseases and that. But
it's all downhill, and nobody else will die.
Think.
That's grim. Let me know if you vomited in your mouth just as much as me.
Oh, fuck off.
On that thought.
Except for them. The rest of us here, no one dies.
Did you see that?
Starting now. Okay, let's go. Oh, for goodness sake! As it turned out, the descent was as deadly as the way up, with the cold really starting to set in. The path became even more narrow, and at one point, the men spent 3 days in the freezing cold, repairing a collapsed road. When they finally reached the bottom, Hannibal said, "Look, guys, We did it! Well, I thought it went really well. When Hannibal left Spain, he had about 100,000 men. By the time he reached the Italian plains, his numbers had dwindled to about 26,000.
Yeah,
he
it was
now
over.
caught in
It was over half of his force he lost. It's insane, and yet they still done so much damage when they got over.
enemy territory without a supply line or source of reinforcements. And any elephants who had survived to this point were almost certainly traumatized. So what on earth would...
I didn't think about that. Like, imagine.
My guy's just chilling on the plains of Africa or something like that, having a great day, and then he's on a boat, and now he's in a fucking chilly mountain. Fucking nightmare.
Oh.
was Hannibal up to? This supposed military genius had just led a starving and weakened army right into enemy territory. Any modern general who lost half their men to mountains would be immediately fired and possibly even depantsed on live TV. Here's the thing. While Hannibal may not have planned on losing quite so many men, he had almost certainly expected considerable losses, and he always had a plan for how to replace them. Need men? Northern Italy was full of men. Big, burly Celtic men. All the men Hannibal would ever need to beat off Rome. These Celts were filled with resentment, having only recently been conquered by Rome. Hannibal hoped to be seen as a liberator, convince the Celts to cut ties with Rome, and instead join him in crushing Rome. That way, he could gain a source of reinforcements and supplies right in Rome's backyard. But sir, in order to win the loyalty of the Celts, we would need to make a seriously favorable impression on them. How do we get them to like us? Kill them. One of Hannibal's first actions in Italy was to obliterate a nearby tribe who wouldn't join him. This sent a clear message to all the other tribes. It was his wrath they should fear, not Rome's. The realization that
We literally said it earlier, didn't we?
Yeah.
Commit atrocities and make them fear you more than
It's
anyone
the
else.
statement piece
It's
that
the
you make.
statement you need to
You've
make
just
back
been
in those.
conquered by Rome. These guys didn't want to join me. I've just murdered that tribe. They now don't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I want to join you, bro.
Yeah.
that a Carthaginian army had just invaded them must have been shocking for the Romans. But when they looked at this ragtag group broken by the Alps, they couldn't have felt very intimidated. However, Hannibal was now in Italy, and he was about to embark on one of the most astonishing military campaigns in all of human history.
Oh, it's such a
The
good
Romans
thing.
may not have known it yet, but there was now a monster loose in their territory, and he was vying for Roman blood.
That vengeance was installed in him and he is about to take it out on you.
I can't wait.
So sick.
I am going to go on to that fucking YouTube
Yeah.
thing and see if there's any
Yeah.
available.
We'll do that in a second. What an amazing episode, guys. If you haven't already, head over to Oversimplified's page. That link's in the description box down below so you can like and subscribe to their channel. And like I said, check this video out itself. If you enjoyed our reaction, you know what you need to do. But first, go head over to our Patreon to see all that extended and bonus content. Only £3 a month. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we will catch you in the next video.
See you in a bit.